Awesome. Yeah, so I'm your third vice president. I'm also the chair of the education committee. And right now, we're about to start our special power hour that we present to all our members who are actually part of NAREB and KREB, California Association of Real Estate Brokers. We do this every third Thursday of the month, where we bring some relative information, things that you can actually, it's part of what the educational tracks that we have laid out, which are business development, technology, new laws, and then we have a full educational track this year, which will be mental health. So today we'll be presenting, the topic will be down payment assistance. And this is also part of business development, especially right now, where we see that there's a lot of the banks are now being highlighted right now in the market. So with down payment assistance, and I know a lot of people are still trying to figure out how they can help their clients buy homes in California still, but there is programs out there that are available to help. So we brought two specialists, Sherry Mims and Dorita Ivy. And before we start and I introduce them, I'd like to see if there's any of our leadership here. I don't see any leadership here right now, but I would just go ahead and dive right in. So I'll introduce Mrs. Sherita Mims. She is a lending officer for Bank of America, and she's full-time employed since October 2017. So she's worked for Bank of America for 5 years. She represents the city of Inglewood and in the field, and her location is in the Manchester, in the Inglewood area. So she's had a real estate license since 2000. She graduated from the California State University, Fullerton in 1978. And she worked for AT&T for 30 years. And in 2009, obtained a mortgage loan originator license in 2013. Worked at NACA between 2013 to 2017. At Bank of America, she makes mortgages easy. Where they currently are the only company to offer community affordable loan solutions, which features no money down, no minimum FICO score, and no closing costs. They also offer down payment grants for up to $10,000 towards their clients' down payment, and America's Home Grants, which features up to $7,500 towards upfront costs. They also offer as low as 3% down for home buyers with minimal down payment funds. And she also specializes in refinances, home equity lines of credit. So this is Miss Sherry Mims. She will be presenting to you also. And then I'll also dive right into Dorita Ivy. She's also a mortgage specialist. She's done business throughout the state of California, and currently has a high volume coming in from Central Valley and surrounding areas. She has 35 plus years in the mortgage industry as an underwriter and underwriting manager. With this experience throughout her career, gives her the edge in knowing various requirements and guidelines in the fact that not guessing what an underwriter would be thinking, she knows. She has a long history of working with numerous programs, products, guidelines, and that are available depending upon the customer's needs. And her greatest satisfaction is helping others achieve the American dream of homeownership. She's here to help. So I want to introduce these two special ladies here, and I want to say happy Women's History Month in celebration of Women's History Month. We want to celebrate these two pioneer women here in the banking industry, Sherry Mims and Dorita Ivy. So I think Sherry, you want to take the floor first.
Thank you very much for that illustrious introduction. Actually, my name is Sherry Mims, and my NMLS number, NMLS, which stands for Nationwide Multi-State Licensing System, is 1001433. And I am delighted to actually be here today and share with you Bank of America's community homeownership commitment. They have made a big commitment to the community to help get those who have never owned a home before, even our low income, even our Black and brown skin. We have special programs for everyone in order to try to get you guys in a home. Now, we all know that the number one American dream is to become a homeowner. And I can assure you that Bank of America takes their commitment to home ownership very, very seriously. We have a variety of ways to assist our clients to achieve the goal of home ownership. So we're going to talk about some of those programs, and I'm going to bring down a slide that I have to share with you guys. So our definition for first-time home buyers is anyone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. So I'm going to be introducing some programs to you guys today that can really go a long way in helping our community to become homeowners. So the first program I want to introduce is called American Home Grant. As you can see here on the slide, that offers up to $7,000 in closing cost help. And I'll go into more detail as I move forward in the slides. Our next one is our down payment grant program.
Sherry, sorry to interrupt,
Yes.
but I think I'm not seeing the slide. I don't know if anybody else is seeing it.
Oh, they can't see the slide?
Yeah.
Let me share. I'm sorry. Just a second. Okay. Can we see it now?
No.
No. Are you able to share your screen, Sherry, by any chance?
That's what I just did, was share screen. Let me make sure. Give me just a second. So I clicked on share screen, and let's do that. Maybe this will bring it. How about now?
There we go.
Perfect. All right. Now I have to move this to the other side so I can go down with my slide. So I'll go right back to where we were. So I'm going to share with you guys about 4 different programs that are the major programs that we utilize to help get our clients into homes. And as you can see on the slide, the first one is called America's Home Grant. We call it AHG for short, for America's Home Grant. And this particular grant offers you up to $7,000 in closing cost help. And I'll go into a lot more detail as we move forward. Our next program is our down payment grant program. Now, that particular program offers you 3% of the purchase price up to $10,000 for your down payment grant. Whichever one is less is which one you'll get. So once again, up to 3% of the purchase price, up to $10,000. The next one that we have is our affordable loan solution mortgage, which comes with a down payment as low as about 3%. And the one that's most popular right today that we're getting a lot of calls and actually getting a lot of people into homes because we offer it in 5 different states. And that program is the Community Affordable Loan Solution. That particular program comes with no money down, no closing costs, no minimum FICO score. Now, even though there are some parameters around it, there is no minimum FICO score. So I'm going to go to the next slide for you guys so we can go into a little bit more depth. So when we're talking about the affordable loan solution, that is the program that gives you eligible about 3% down. So that's the minimum that you have to put down is 3%. So your loan to value is about 97%. Now, for that 3% down, you've got all kind of different sources that you can use. You can take a grant from your parents. We give grants that you can marry with this particular program. We also have, this program does require a mortgage insurance. However, the mortgage insurance is a reduced amount. For this program, you can also use non-traditional credit, so that if you don't have 3 lines of credit, then you're allowed to use your cable bill, your phone bill, your gas bill, your Edison bill. And another thing I like about this program that you don't see with a lot of programs is that you can have a non-occupant co-borrower. So just say that your mom wants to go on the loan with you because you can't afford to go on the loan by yourself. She is allowed to do that even if she lives in another home or she owns another home. So you can actually do that one. This particular program does require our home buyer education, and we actually have CTO partners, we call them Connect to Own partners, that we will get you hooked up with so that you can do your counseling home buyers education. And then the last thing that I love about this program is that it allows non-permanent resident aliens to have the same terms and conditions as US citizens, so that, you know, we have a large dream population, those who were either born here or brought here early, but they don't have the status of US citizen. And for a long time, we didn't do loans for them, but now we can. So that's a great thing about that particular program. With the America's Home Grant, that's our AHG program, it gives you up to $7,500 towards non-reoccurring costs, such as your title insurance. Now, with this particular program, income and geographic requirements do apply. And I will show you guys really quickly at the end of this how there are several ways that you can look up the particular property to find out whether or not it falls within the demographics of for the requirements for that particular program. The down payment grant, we're able to give it to you up front at the very beginning of the loan process. That's up to 3% of whatever the purchase price is, all the way up to $10,000, whichever is less. And it's considered taxable income, so you will receive the 1099. It is a grant. It does not have to be paid back, but it will be considered as income. That's why you will receive the 1099. Now, the thing that I love about America's Home Grant and the down payment grant, you could marry those two together. So you're looking at a possibility of $17,500 by marrying these two programs. Not only that, you can marry outside programs with this. And one thing that Bank of America has done, you can go on my website and we have a resource for California. It's actually for all different states, but for California, with that resource, you can find every last single grant that's available in California. And any of those grants that you find there could be married to these two particular grants, America's Home Grant and the down payment grant. So let's just say you take that, you qualify for the full $17,500. I think most of you guys have heard of, and I always say LIPA or MIPA MIPA, however you pronounce that correctly. I think LIPA has about 90,000 and MIPA has about 100,000. So if you put all of that together, you're talking about $117,500 that you can actually be approved for by having these grants, and all of them are grants. So in order for you guys to pay this, here in this slide, it says bankofamerica.com/down payment center. However, I will be giving you my information and you can go right through my website and all of that information is readily there for you. And remember, I mentioned our Connect to Own partners. I could just name a few of those. We do partner with West Angeles CDC. We partner with FACES. We partner with East LA. So we have quite a few people that can give you the certificate that you need to be eligible for these particular programs. And I guess I'm gonna go to the next slide, but my favorite one, which is not on a slide yet, and the real estate agents and everybody always asks us, and we don't have it yet, and that's Bank of America's Community Affordable Loan Solution. That particular program is, I guess, a favorite for everyone because there's no money down, no closing costs, no minimum FICO score. Even though there is no minimum FICO score, there are some parameters that are in place, such as a client cannot have been late on their credit within the last 6 months, nor could they have been late on their rent for the last 6 months. If any of you guys ever heard of the NACA program, well, Bank of America is actually the lender for NACA. And this particular program pretty much mirrors the NACA program with the no money down, no closing costs, no minimum FICO score. Another thing that's really great about the community affordable loan solution is the fact that we give you $15,000. So let's say that the seller is asking $515,000 for the house. We would actually pay that seller the $515,000. However, your client's loan would only be at $500,000 because we're giving them the grant of $15,000. Once again, you do not have to pay it back, but you will receive a 1099 at the end of the year for that particular program to be used. So there's no tax implications other than your income would be $15,000 more. Now, the $15,000 is for California and Florida. We do have this program in other areas such as Detroit, Texas, and I can give you all the others, but in those, they're only receiving $10,000. So for anybody that wants the specifics on the other states that we deal with, because I do all 50 states, I can give you that information. The other great part for the Community Affordable Loan Solution Program, and I'm sorry that we don't have any slides for that, so that's why I'm not referring to the slides at this time, because so far Bank of America has not designed that. But the other great thing about that particular program is that the clients can buy a single family residence, a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. So that's the other great thing about our Community Affordable Loan Solution. So far I've told you guys about 4 different programs that we offer. And I'm going to say them again real quickly. We have America's Home Grant, $7,500 toward closing costs. That includes title insurance, recording fees, and in some situations, I use it a lot, I use it toward discount points that may be used to lower the interest rate. And you guys know in this environment right now, anything that we could do to help with the interest rate is a great thing, because the interest rates seem like right now they're not giving us a break at all. Can be no cash back given to the borrower. So the grant is subject to the interested party contribution limits, and that's for the FHA loans only. It's available for Bank of America's first mortgage loan applications, and that includes our conventional loans, our FHA loans, and our VA loans. And for this particular one and this particular one only, you are not required to be a first-time home buyer. And I think I gave you guys our definition of first-time home buyers, which is anyone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. And I did mention to you guys that this can be combined with our down payment grant, and not only our down payment grant, but any other outside grants that the client may bring with you. So that wraps up the American Home Grant. The down payment grant, just a little bit more information that I'm gonna go over. Once again, 3%. Up to $10,000, whichever is less, and it's going to be used for your down payment. So borrower will receive no cash back. The grant program is not available with all the mortgage products. So we would have to go over that with you once you decide that you want to utilize the down payment grant. So homebuyer education is required for this particular program, and that is done through our Connect to Own partners. This can be combined with the American Home Grant, so these two can be combined together, and you will always receive a 1099. So they're talking about layering the different down payment grants that we have. So these particular ones, the America's Home Grant and the payment grant can be layered, and it can be layered with other outside grants. However, the Community Affordable Loan Solution Program cannot be layered with anything. That program stands completely on its own. Once again, you can go to the Bank of America Down Payment Center, but I would prefer that you go through my website, and it has all of that information for you. We also have an online education series, and that kind of gets our clients ready for what they're going to be getting themselves into when it comes down to buying a home. So even though it's not a grant, it does ready our clients for what the process of buying a home completely. So that's our online center. This one, I would love for each and every one of you to sign up for. It's called our Bank of America's Real Estate Center. And with that Bank of America Real Estate Center, any and every property that is listed in MLS is listed in our real estate center. However, we let you customize this to the searches that you're looking for. And not only do we allow you to customize it for the areas that you're looking for, if you wanted to use one of our programs, all you have to do is go in here and look to see if you want to see if those properties that you're looking at are eligible for any of our grants. It will show you that that program is eligible. And I'm going to show you guys that real quick. I've already talked about our Connect to Own partners, and that's how you get your certificate. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share the real estate center, because I believe that that's the best thing going on in town right now, that allows the real estate agent to see right there on MLS, whether or not the programs actually qualify for any of our grants, or it qualifies for our community home loan. So let me go back so I can share some contact again. Just a second. Just to go here. I'm not good at this part, you guys, so I'm gonna do this, and then you guys can tell me if you see my screen. If not, I'll do something different, but let's try this right here. Give me a second.
And Sherry, you said that all these slides are available at the Bank of America Real Estate Center, right?
No, what's available on the Bank of America's Real Estate Center is the actual properties. Let's say you have a listing right now in MLS. You would see that property in our real estate center. And then that's what I'm going to show you guys right now when I share the contact. What it tells you is whether or not that property is eligible for Bank of America's grants or for the Community Affordable Loan Solution. So that's what that slide is for. So give me a second, because this part I'm not great at. I'm going to try to share that with you guys. If you're seeing my screen now, I'm hoping that you will see this, but let me know if you don't. I'm bringing it up right now as we speak. There we go. So I'm going to do a new share. And
we don't see a screen with the share with the Bank of America.
Right, I'm doing it right now. Give me just a second. I think this is it. So do you guys see that? No? Yes. New share right here. Oh, and share. Didn't come up. Your screen sharing. It says I'm sharing. It should be like some emails that you guys see, no?
Yeah, I see the emails.
Okay. So now let me get to where I need to go to. Sorry. Just wanted to get to that part. So anytime that I send you guys an email, it says visit my website. So when you click on visit my website, it will automatically take you to my website. And that's where hopefully it's going now. Okay, can you guys see that?
No, it opened up no, you still see your email.
Okay, so let's do new share again. Hold on, give me a second. Let me find what is that? Oh, right here. Okay. I'm learning, you guys, as we go. So now you just, what we're looking at is my website. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So as you can see, we have all kind of calculators. I mean, it's an excellent website, but in here it says, I'm here for you. And what you'll see on this particular website, these are all of the skills that we allow our clients to help get themselves ready for a program, so to speak. But I was telling you guys about the real estate center, and I also was telling you about the down payment resources. So if you click on this down payment resources and you put in California, what it will show you is every single grant that is available for your clients to utilize, and they break it down by cities. So if your client is looking in Rialto, you can go right there to Rialto and say, what does Rialto have? I like to use the Anaheim example because Anaheim actually give their client, anyone buying a home in their city, $120,000. So that's an area that you guys can go look at through my website and sign up for the website and look at that anytime you want to look for grants for your clients. But with this real estate center.
And Sherry, just to make you aware, we have 1 more minute for your presentation.
Okay, with this real estate center here, and I don't know if it's gonna make me share again or if it's still with me. Is it with me? Okay, so
yeah.
here you put, I think in here is Inglewood City. So I'm gonna continue and I'm gonna go to Inglewood and I wanna see what Inglewood has because that's where my client wants to look. So when I get there, it allows you to do filters. So for any price, I'm putting no minimum. Because our program for the Community Affordable Loan Solution offers only up for single family residents up to $647,000, then I'm just gonna use 600. I don't care how many beds and baths, but for my filter, I wanna add a filter. On that filter, it says search for properties eligible for Community Affordable Loan Solution Mortgage or Home Buyer Grants. So I'm going to check that box because that's what I want to look for because my customer needs this program. This is the city of Inglewood. Excuse me. If you notice, you have a hand with a $sign on it. And if you hover over it, it says this particular condo is eligible for the Community Affordable Loan Solution Mortgage. The max income for the Community Affordable Loan Solution is $136,650. That's whether you're doing the loan by yourself or if you're going to partner with someone. And then that lets you know, oh, so this program is eligible for the program that has no money down, no closing costs, no minimum FICO score. It also is eligible for our grants, and our grants are the down payment grant that I told you about, up to $10,000, and the $7,500. So this lets you know automatically that this program is eligible. And as you can see in the city of Inglewood, there are quite a few. If you go to Lancaster, Palmdale, there's millions of them, just about every single house. But I love this.
Hey, Sherry, I think you're mute, but oh, hold on.
Okay, I said all of that. So I was saying, as you guys can see, these programs, you guys heard that part at least?
No, you were saying these programs, but go ahead and share your information in the chat. So that people can actually reach out to you. And they'll have a way of contacting you because I want to give Dorita enough time to present her presentation too. But this is great information that you shared here. So go ahead and then we'll try to get some questions in at the end. But so go ahead and share your information in the chat. I think all that the links and everything are there too. And any links that you want to share too. So okay,
okay. I'm going to share my information in the chat, and then I'm going to put my my website information, and that's how you guys can go in and get the additional information. And thank you guys for the time for Bank of America for us to share our program and our commitment to the community for being able to assist to get them in a home.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much. All right. So that was Sherry Mims. Now we have Dorita Ivy. She's going to share her programs and talk about down payment assistance. So the floor is yours, Dorita. I think you're on mute still. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Trying to unmute here. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
great.
Hello. I'm
Yes.
going to keep it kind of brief because I am one of those people who are still old school, personal touch. Sometimes a lot of these different things can be confusing to a first-time home buyer, and they would rather just back away versus attempting to do it because they already think us as lenders, we put them through a lot. So literally, I'm going to also share my information, my contact, my phone number. I always tell people I will answer unless I'm asleep or in church. That's the only reasons why I don't answer. I want to talk about two programs because I think in looking at the market today, what's kind of viable for where we are is I have one down payment assistance program. It is FICO driven. And FICO today sometimes, it's challenging. Some people don't really know the understanding, know how to get there or what it takes. And that's why I like to really spend time with people so that I can show them it is doable. One of the programs that I offer is considered a grant. It is FICO minimum 620. And what is a grant is it doesn't have to be paid back. My thing with that is that I like it because it allows you to do 1 to 2 units, as well as condos, manufactured homes, which we are probably starting to see a little bit more of. With that being said, it's totally forgivable because it's a grant. So, these types of loans sometimes do have a challenging interest rate, a little bit higher, but immediately after you close, if rates go down enough, you're able to refinance and not have to worry about paying that money back, getting your payment down lower. This program is designed only for FHA, but they will allow FHA 203Ks. And sometimes you have to have a vision with talking with people. It may not be the way that you like right now, but we can get it there. And this is how we do it. I always tell people location is prime, site is prime. We can do floors, we can do cabinets, we can do a whole lot of different things. And then you fall in love with the home itself after looking at it and seeing that maybe it's not something you wanted in the beginning. So that program is available and they will lend up to the 3.5% grant. And it doesn't always require that you be a first-time home buyer. And as Sherry mentioned, first-time home buyer in any program today is 3 years. Okay, so again, that's the one program where the FICO score is a little bit less in requiring, and it is a grant up to 3.5%. And then they do allow duplexes, which in this market today for payments, it kind of helps people qualify because they can use that other second unit as income to them. The other program that I know most of you are hearing about and is going woo is the California Dream Program. That program is going to be coming out from CalHFA on March the 27th. And there is a lot of speculation about the program because they haven't defined everything about the program. And what I mean by that is they've not actually come out with FICO scores. They've not come out with a whole lot of the particulars of, the program other than just some basic information. But I want to put enough information in there to have you guys get your buyers riled up and excited about it. So what CalHFA is looking to do is they're looking to do up to 20% down payment of a sales price or appraised value, whichever is less. What that program does is it will allow that buyer to have a little bit more to put down on a piece of property to somehow help with bringing the payment within range. And so what I've discovered is a lot of people sometimes are hesitant because they can probably make a mortgage payment, but it's coming up with the upfront costs that sometimes generally go, oh, wow, I just can't do that. But they're paying rents of a mortgage payment, but they just can't come up with a whole lot of money. So this program works really well for that. It is going to be geared more towards conventional. They have not indicated that they're going to do FHA. So what does that mean to you? That means to you that minimum for their programs on conventional is 3% down. First-time homebuyers not owning within the last 3 years. However, they're going to grant, or not grant, I'm going to say they're going to lend you 20% to put down in addition to what the minimum is. So you can utilize that for down payment and closing costs. What the thing is with that is that it is considered to be shared equity. Okay. So I'm going to try and show the slide that I have, or what I have on it. Let me see here. Okay. So this is how it works. I'm going to talk briefly about the low income, and people go, well, what is the low income? Low income is the 80% of the median income. And so typically most of our buyers in looking at purchasing homes today they really can't qualify for much for low income. Okay. However, what CalHFA has designed is something of this nature, in which you'll see if a person is looking at purchasing a home value of $500,000, CalHFA is looking at giving them 20% to use towards that, which would mean that their first mortgage would be for $400,000. They have not come up with particulars as to what a time span will be on this appreciation value. So I don't know if it'll be for the lifetime. I don't know if they'll say it's going to be for 7, 9, or 10 years. We don't know that yet. We will know that on March the 27th. Anytime you look at refinancing or selling the property, they're going to look at what equity has appreciated to. So if you're looking at home value, let's just say on a refinance, has gone up to 640 from when you purchased it, or you're looking at selling it, your appreciation value is 140. Well, they're looking at that and they're going, okay, based on low income, we're going to ask you for 15% of that appreciation. And that's after you've paid off your first mortgage and after you've paid off your second, which is the 20% that they gave you initially. 15% is all that they're going to ask you back if you're low income. If you are outside of that realm of low income, then they're going to ask you for 20%. Okay. And that's what that number looks like. So with that being said, I am kind of particular as to what the FICO scores are going to be. You know, I'm particular about what the debt to income ratio is going to be. I can tell you now that CalHFA, based on their conventional financing FICO scores, they want a minimum on conventional of 680. The greater your FICO, it basically means the higher your debt to income ratio could be. So on a 680, they allow you to go up to 45% debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio is your mortgage payment plus any other monthly liabilities that report on your credit report. For 700 FICO scores, they allow you to go up to 50% debt to income ratio. This, of course, all being automated through the system as an approval. They do not do manual underwrites. And that's to the tune of what I have currently right now. But as I said, I'm going to put my information in the chat box because I always like to hear what a buyer wants to do because there are other options that I do have available, knowing what they have to work with or what they don't have to work with. gives me an idea of what program, but I'll always share with them whatever's out there so that they can make an intelligent decision.
Awesome. So I think we have a question from Mrs. Mims. Go ahead with your question, Mrs. Mims. I think you're on mute still.
No, my hand is not up. I was clicking on everything, trying to find my, so I could chat and put my information, but I don't have a question. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we do. We had two great presentations from both pioneers in the banking and industry and market. I think if y'all have questions, now will be a good time to ask. Y'all can ask questions in the chat or just raise your hand. I don't see if you both can share your contact information in the chat. I think that will be good, and that way the members will be able to contact you directly. I don't see it in the chat yet, but we still have some time to share it. And if anybody has any questions, go ahead. And any questions? Yes, I see Francis, Madam President, with a question. Go ahead, Madam Francis.
Thank you very much. I really am getting a lot out of what's being said, and I'll probably have to come back and revisit to get a better understanding. But with the CalHFA, what was that date again? Where with the down payment assistance?
March 27th.
Okay, all right. You mentioned March 27th. You mentioned that you don't have a lot of information now, but the program is really very informative to help a client if, but I can't answer any questions because you don't have all the particulars. That's okay.
Well, the main thing is if you have anybody, the best thing in the world to do is to put them in contact with me. And the reasons why is we want to know where their credit is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we already kind of know based on conventional financing, they're going to want the higher credit score. Okay.
Well, yeah.
With that being said, right, we want to at least get them in because CalHFA has indicated they have $5 million to grant. Okay.
Wow.
This goes really quickly, especially when you have all the retail shops advertising it before it's gone out. So literally put them in touch now so that when we're ready to go, we are ready to go. And I usually get everything up front, get them ready to go. My average close time is 14 days. Dealing with CalHFA and knowing that they're going to probably have a whole lot of this coming through their door, they're probably running about 3 to 5 days on their approval. But I know a lot of people there.
Well, real quick, and this is the last question for right now.
Sure.
I noticed that with the down payment assistance, with one of the other lenders, this probably you might be familiar with it, but the inspection period, that means that they told me that you can't have a tenant that live there because they don't want to be responsible for putting the tenant out, and it's got to be a owner. Now it could be vacant, it's just, but whoever's there, you can't have a tenant. So you probably don't know what the particulars are about it, but when I've sent people out with the special pre-approved 400,000, well, 200,000 of it is coming as the help for down payment, but each time it had a tenant. So,
okay. So let me explain that to you. That's really not a down payment assistance program guideline. That is a guideline in regards to your deed of trust. Okay. Anytime you're looking at a person using down payment assistance program, the deed of trust makes us say on an owner occupied that they have to owner occupy that property within 60 days. Okay. Otherwise, it's considered to be investment. All right. So anytime you have a tenant in there, we want to know that you've served them notice. In other words, they've been served notice and they have a time to vacate, which is going to be prior to that 60-day period. Down payment assistance literally is just granting money. They're not underwriting a loan, but we do have to conform to what loan guidelines are.
Well, you did address that at least they'll have a letter, because on this particular situation, they wouldn't accept anything else but that. We don't have anything in place about that down payment assistance. But you said even with a notice that they're going to move, you're saying it's acceptable. So that's fine.
Yeah, the notice of vacate, yeah. But again, this is because of my underwriting experience that I know this information. And you have to kind of know, you kind of got to know a little bit about that in order to present it. You know what I mean? Because keep in mind, I've been doing this a very long time, and our newer generation just have never crossed this bridge before. And sometimes they don't know.
Okay, I
So that would
appreciate
be a question that I would ask them. If I provide you with the intent to vacate, would that be enough?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good. All right, well, thank you. And I have one question for Sherry. And I was just wondering, how are you anyway, by the way? And
I'm good, Miss Francis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
I love the way that you're speaking on all the programs. When it comes to the condo and whether it's approved for FHA or not approved for FHA, I can appreciate seeing what program and down payment assistance that helps. But when it comes down to that, is that type of a hindrance on the pre-qualification or pre-approval that the complex is not approved?
Okay, so there's multifaceted answers to that, because as you guys all know, with the community affordable loan solution, you have to have a 50% debt to income ratio. So once you add on those homeowners association fees, that could very well affect the debt to income ratio. And then, as you all well know, what also comes with buying a condo is the homeowners association insurance and all of the documentation that we have to collect from the homeowner association. So all of that could very well affect the loan essentially.
Okay. All right. And then the other one, the last question I have is with NACA. I know they were very popular at one time. Instead of sending our clients away if they don't qualify, would you recommend a source that we can send our buyers to know that they're going to get prepared to buy one of the homes from Bank of America?
Well, that essentially is what our CTO Connect to Own partners are. They are the ones that are getting our clients ready. As a matter of fact, once you finish the online, or whether you do it in person or online, you have to go through a one-on-one counseling session with the CTOs. They actually do a soft pull, and then they're going to review the credit. They're going to review all of that to make sure that that client is ready by the time they come to us. So that is what our Connect to Own partners is doing for us at this time.
Okay, great answer. Thank you.
So I have a quick question for either one of you about the programs. Does any of those programs, or all of them, apply to multi-units or multi-family units in terms of and how many units can you purchase using the program?
I'll go first, Ms. Dottie. For Bank of America, the only program that applies to the multi-unit is the Community Affordable Loan Solution, and you can get anywhere from single family to 4-unit. After 4-unit, that is considered non-residential, so that's why we only go to the 4-unit.
Okay.
And the grant that I talked about goes up to 2. I do not know that CalHFA will allow more than that, simply because their program is designed for first-time homebuyers, not investor type of situations. So they haven't come out specifically on will they allow it for 1 to 2 units? No, but in the past, have they? No.
And I just wanted to add one other thing. If those units are already occupied, then we do give the client 50% of the rental income toward their income to help them qualify. So sometimes that rental income can help those clients to qualify.
Nice. All right. So we got 10 more minutes left. all of the information is shared in the chat. I think both presenters and host information is shared in the chat right now. Anybody has any more questions? All right. So I mean, so this was a great informative session here. I do appreciate both of you taking the time to explain and present these programs for us. I think it's gonna go a long way in helping a lot of our members deal with their communities in terms of getting more people into homes and also being effective, especially right now where we see the uncertainty in the market with the banks. We see that it was shaky before, but now there's a level of confidence and uncertainty even higher now. So with these programs, I think it's going to help. I know it will help. Also, before we wrap up everything, I just want to actually introduce our current president, Madam Frances Young, to just introduce herself and say a few words to us. I think you're on mute. Hold on, let me see.
Okay, thank you. It's always a pleasure to participate in this Power Hour. I learned so much from it. We get busy in our regular days and meetings, and we don't have time to really talk about our clients' needs. So I really appreciate the attendance that you ladies have, and I will be talking to you offline. I'm sure other people will. And also I'm the state president of the California Association of Real Estate Brokers. And in our workshops or sessions, I'm sure we'll invite you again. Thanks to Mr. Clinton. You're doing a great job, young man. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. So, and also wanted to say thank you to the Education Committee. We have Parisha and also Ingrid on the line. If y'all want to say anything, I'll open the floor to y'all just to say hi.
No, thank you everyone for coming, and I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say thank you to our presenters today. I mean, they were super responsive. And I'm sure that when Dorita saw my text message come through, she's like, oh my gosh, what does she have for me right now? So something totally different than usual. But yeah, thank you. A lot of great information.
Awesome. Yeah, and if y'all have any ideas for classes or things that you'll want to do, you can reach out to any one of us here on the Education Committee. We're willing and happy to actually accommodate it. I see we have one more hand. I'm sorry, I don't have your name. It's not showing up in the on Zoom, but I think you have a question. I think it's the phone number 30310. I think you're on mute too. Hold on.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a question. I just hit the button by accident. Sorry about that.
No problem. And what's your name? I'm sorry.
Rita Jenkins.
Rita Jenkins, are you a near Abokira member?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your membership. Okay. So yeah, I mean, so as we end and as we conclude, I just want to say thank you again for everybody for showing up. And as I said, this is going to be on our platform as we build it out, as one of the vital sources of information y'all can go to actually replay this. Before the year ends, we'll have that platform up so that way people who are coming here can actually use the information right away or bring it towards to other members in the CAREApp community. But as we end, I just want to say thank you again for everybody coming out. Have a great week until and a great rest of the month until we see each other again next Power Hour. We do have some great things coming up. We are planning a housing summit, and then we have Realtors Week coming up in April. So that's going to be more for the local chapters. But if you all need any type of educational correspondence, anything like that, we're willing to help you all on that for Realtors Week. Is there any other events, Frances, that is coming up too that you know of? President?
Not at this time. But in Realtors Week, the Fair Housing Day should be one of the more interesting type sessions that we're going to be celebrating along with other organizations on that special day. So we would appreciate it anybody coming out and attending to anybody, either one of our chapter regarding Realtors Weeks. So that's basically something that I think our speakers might be interested in reaching out to see if they might want to help participate in a Realtors Week.
Okay. And one more last thing too, registration, early bird registration for conference, which is national conference in Houston, is going to be ending this month. So if you haven't, if you're thinking about going and you want to take advantage of the lower rate right now, register before the month's end for national conference in Houston. All right, and that's pretty much it. So everybody have a great rest of the week, rest of the month, and
Thank you.
enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
thanks.
Bye.